One badge. Two badge. Penny and dime.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So Netflix confirmed on their back end that Punisher Season 1 is coming 2017, so there's just going to be a breakdown. They've already announced their showrunner, they're already looking at a couple characters, so I'll just explain everything. If you didn't see it, I did a Defenders trailer breakdown. I talked a little bit about how Jon Bernthal popped his head in at Comic-Con at the Netflix panel and was just like, "Hey everybody, I just wanted to say thanks." He had this super beard on. It was freaking huge, but he's just so thankful to the fans for the awesome response that they gave him for his portrayal, and just reminding everyone, 2017, Punisher's coming. He didn't say it officially, but they did say that we're working on weaving Punisher into the larger Defenders universe, because a lot of the Punisher stuff didn't blow up till after they'd already made all these contractual arrangements to produce the Defenders series and all the different shows. So before they ever rolled cameras on Daredevil Season 1, they had contracts in place for when each season would drop, how many episodes they'd be, and when they would team up in Defenders. So it's almost like they planned a whole phase of movies, like they, all the way through the Avengers from the first Iron Man movie ahead of time. Then when Punisher came along and blew up, everyone went crazy. They're like, oh my god, we have to find a way to do more of this. Well, of course, the answer is to do spin-off series, but they were so tied up with the plans to make all these other series that they had to adjust a little bit, so they're still kind of figuring that out. So even if it gets pushed a little bit, I still think that we'll see Punisher Season 1 before the end of 2017. It just might get pushed to the ass end of 2017, so like November, December. So of all the new characters that Marvel can do TV series for on Netflix, Punisher is probably the perfect fit. And because of the context with which they used him in Daredevil Season 2, like the way they introduce him into this universe, there are actually a number of really easy jumping off points for where he can go with his first season. So like the overarching villain, the one who ties everything together, is Wilson Fisk. He's kind of like the Thanos of the Netflix series, even though he's only going to be one of the villains of the Defenders team up. But during Daredevil Season 2, he and Punisher had it out, and he let him know in no uncertain terms that the minute he got out of prison, he would be gunning for Punisher, just like he'd be gunning for Daredevil and for Nelson and Murdock. Because even though you might wonder, Kingpin does not know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil yet. He'll probably figure it out eventually, but it doesn't really matter because he wants to kill both of them. So either way, Matt Murdock is in deep shit, just like the Punisher is in deep shit. But the easiest sell in terms of Punisher villains are the mob. Like that was mostly what he did during Daredevil Season 2, is he went after mob targets that he felt were culpable in the death of his family. So naturally, he killed a couple of high-level people, like the Irishman, when the Irishman threatened to kill his dog. Oh man, you just can't come back from that. The minute you threaten someone's dog, you have to die. That's the TV show's way of telling you that there's people out there that are way worse than the Punisher. As crazy as the Punisher is, you do not hurt animals. So I feel like a really easy thing for them to do with Punisher is him going after human traffickers. Because if you remember during Daredevil Season 1, they tried to bring in that Black Sky child. So there's a lot of human trafficking that goes down at the docks. Punisher is just like the first person you would expect to be on that. Now, like Daredevil and Punisher do overlap a little bit, because the Hand aside, the biggest villains in Hell's Kitchen in that area of the city are drug dealers and the mob. The Kingpin naturally is going to be getting out of prison soon. We'll start consolidating mob forces. So eventually, like all the different factions that you saw during Daredevil Season 2 that the Punisher was going after, they will be one faction united under Wilson Fisk. But I'm only expecting to see shades of that as we move into the big Defenders team up. Even if he's not the big bad of the first season of the Punisher, I feel like it'll probably be a classic Punisher villain. Like they'll go for the easy slam dunk. It'll be Jigsaw, someone who you're kind of familiar with, but also flows from a lot of the stuff they've done so far. If you didn't know, the showrunner has already been hired. He's coming from Hannibal. I just love the idea that the person who was responsible for Hannibal Lecter is going to be authoring Punisher Season 1. And there's rumors that Microchip is going to be part of the series. He's kind of like a Melvin Potter gladiator type character, someone who helps the Punisher with weapons, gear, missions, but then later, like in a later series, he becomes a villain, so they go up against each other. So there's a number of different ways that the series could use him, but so far he's the only officially confirmed character that they're looking at right now, but there'll be plenty more as they start working on the series. So while Defenders is the culmination of all the different Netflix series so far, just expect all the series going forward to weave in aspects of that. So like Jessica Jones Season 2, which is going to be happening after Defenders, will acknowledge everything that happened so far, but it's not going to be tied to what's going on Luke Cage Season 2 or Daredevil Season 3 or Punisher Season 1. It'll just like loosely weave in bigger plot elements. Wilson Fisk in The Hand are just the best examples of that. And for those that are asking, we haven't talked about it recently, but there is a Jessica Jones Season 2 that's been greenlit. It's going to have multiple villains, and it's going to double down on the Hellcat Jessica Jones friendship. So for all of you that have been holding your breath, like really hoping for Patsy Walker Hellcat stuff, we'll probably see more of that in Season 2. But as we get on in seasons, expect more characters to cross over, heroes for hire style, like once we get Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Obviously, in the next season of one of those shows, we'll probably see a whole bunch more Iron Fist during the next season of Luke Cage. So let me know in the comments, who do you want the big bad of Punisher Season 1 to be? Remember that they will follow up on some of the consequences of what Punisher did, like Wilson Fisk is definitely coming after him. Family members of the Irish gang members that Punisher killed might be coming for him. There will be repercussions. So it's going to be really fun to see how they dance around all those things during Punisher Season 1. But of all the characters, he will be the most under the radar just because he doesn't hesitate to kill people. In related news, my next video is either going to be the Flash movie because they just announced that Cyborg is going to be a big part of that, or it'll be Flash Season 3. So be sure to subscribe to get that. I'll be doing both videos, I just haven't decided which one's going to post first. So you guys can let me know which one you want first in the comments. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for the Luke Cage trailer, and you can click here for my Infinity War teaser. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.